Today on the CTV News at 5, heartless. Police look for the car prowlers who dumped a teenager's ashes. Plus, why experts say Lethbridge's housing industry is solid. And one of the wildest fish stories you will ever hear.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. A Brooks toddler is dead, and RCMP and the medical examiner are investigating. The 18-month-old little girl wasn't breathing when paramedics were called to an unregistered day home yesterday in Brooks. The emergency services crews couldn't revive the little girl, and that's when police were called in. There were several other young children being cared for at the home. We're told the day home operator is fully cooperating with police. We've got a news crew in Brooks, and we'll have more on this developing story coming up in our 5:30 news. Now, Brooks RCMP are also investigating a fatal rollover, and they aren't sure who the driver of the vehicle is. It happened around 3:30 this morning on Highway 544, just east of Patricia. Two people were thrown from the vehicle. A 19-year-old woman from Drumheller was pronounced dead at the scene, while a 20-year-old woman from Hanna was airlifted to Calgary Hospital with life-threatening injuries. RCMP say the driver of the vehicle is unknown at this time. A 33-year-old woman is in serious but stable condition after being airlifted from an accident in the East Kootenay this morning. A crash happened around 8:30 on Highway 95 near Wassa. Police say a one-ton dump truck had turned onto the highway and was rear-ended by a 2006 Grand Caravan. The impact sent the dump truck into the ditch where it rolled several times. Two people in the dump truck were taken to hospital while the driver of the minivan sustained minor injuries, but the passenger of the minivan, a 33-year-old woman, had to be flown from the scene to Calgary Hospital by Stars Air ambulance.
And the passenger of the minivan was flown via Stars to Calgary with, we believe at this point, non-life-threatening injuries, but probably some internal damage, broken ribs.
Police are still investigating but believe that speed and driver inattentiveness are the major factors in this crash. 15-year-old boy is facing charges of arson and animal cruelty after an early morning fire gutted a West Lethbridge garage and killed a family pet. Around 5 a.m., emergency crews responded to a garbage can fire along Rutgers Crescent. Then about half an hour later, a garage was set on fire on the same street. The blaze destroyed the garage, and also the family dog, a Labrador, which was inside, died. 15-year-old boy who can't be named is charged with a number of offenses, including arson to property, arson, disregard to human life, possession of materials for fire making, and a number of other animal cruelty charges. Two Medicine Hat youths aged 10 and 11 are responsible for causing up to $100,000 in damages at the Murray Chevrolet Cadillac dealership in Medicine Hat. On Sunday around 2, some customers looking at vehicles in the parking lot heard sounds coming from inside the compound. They went to investigate and they discovered a truck smashing into other parked vehicles. Police were called to the scene, and that's where they found two young boys who admitted to breaking into a vehicle on the lot and then using it to damage a significant amount of property. In total, 7 vehicles were damaged, as well as the compound fences and heavy-duty equipment in the back. Now, the kids, though, they don't face any charges under the criminal justice system because the Youth Criminal Justice Act only applies to those who are 12 years of age or older. And we also are learning more about a rash of car prowlings that has left a Calgary mother devastated. The thieves stole her late daughter's ashes and tossed them in the street like garbage.
It was full. Now there's just a little bit left in the corner.
Colleen Ransom carried the pouch of ashes and one of her daughter's jackets in her truck. Her truck, along with several other vehicles, was broken into August the 2nd in the southeast community of Lake Bonavista in Calgary. Her 19-year-old daughter, Emma Ransom, died in a car crash 4 years ago on a highway near Nanton.
Anybody who's lost someone knows how precious it can be. They're the only thing I have left of my daughter, and I like her to come with me wherever I go.
Police suspect 3 teenage girls are responsible for the break-ins. They think the girls didn't know what they had stolen. We have descriptions of the suspects and the missing jacket on the CTV Calgary website. Another scam has popped up targeting homeowners hit by last month's massive flooding. NMAX says it works like this. A caller pretends to have information about your utility bills. They then offer an energy guard. It's a device that attaches to the house and cuts your bills in half. Costs around $350. The individual claims to be from a Canadian company and is making this one-time offer as part of a government program to assist flood victims. NMAX says it would never provide details of anyone's personal account information without their consent. It looks like summer is finally back. Dory Rossiter, a few great warm days on the way.
Yeah, we do. And as a result of those warmer days and sunnier days, we quite often get those daytime heating active situations. And that's what we're looking at today. We have some thunderstorm watches and warnings out for much of Alberta right now, especially the southern half and closer to the mountains. But we'll give you all the details in a couple of minutes. But you're right, some nice days are ahead.
Thanks, Dory. Well, the Canadian Home Builder Association would like to assure Southern Albertans that doom is not looming just overhead, at least for the Lethbridge area. Analyst reports have been coming in saying that the Lethbridge housing market is about to take a turn for the worst. According to the Canadian Home Builders Association, Lethbridge's region, the reports originate from the East Coast, but the CHBA says the market is strong at the moment, and they say it's never a bad time to buy a home in the area if you've been in the market.
There have been a lot of reports that have been coming in from primarily the East Coast, several different market analysis. Some say that the boom and the bust is going to happen again here and we're getting ready for the worst part of the recession. Other reports indicate that the market is doing just fine. But right here in Lethbridge, it is doing just fine. So we say to people, if they feel uncertain about anything at all they need to do is just talk to their own financial advisor, and that's the person that's going to direct them in the right place and let them know if now is the time for them.
The CHBA says there is a high amount of pre-owned homes being sold in Lethbridge and area, but they say that shouldn't deter you if you're thinking of getting into the housing market. We'll keep an eye out on the highways this weekend. People from Treaty 7 from the Kainai Nation are out running to support a great cause. Over 20 participants from Treaty 7 stopped in Fort Macleod for lunch before running from Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump all the way to Cardston. It's a 61.5-kilometer trek. The reason for the run is to end drug abuse and alcoholism in the First Nations community. Participants say they hope this run will inspire others to seek treatment if they're having a difficult time with their addiction.
Pretty far away, so I believe everybody can do it. Everyone's strong here. We've got a strong group. We're going to push it today. I think everyone's doing good. We're all feeling pretty good. Got lots of water. It's pretty good.
It's been excellent. Excellent. We started off about 10 o'clock. The weather was nice, and like I said, everybody was inspired and ready to go. So up to now, it's just been perfect. Been really good, really great. Hey, so we look forward to a nice day.
It would be a feat that would be challenging for anybody. But today, Chris Cook, a man born without his limbs, lived up to his word and climbed all 802 steps at the Calgary Tower.
Sit up, guys. Okay.
Cook, who's originally from Nanton, was surrounded by family and friends who cheered him on before and during the climb. It takes the average person 15 minutes to climb the steps. Cook was determined to do it in under 30. Our camera followed him up all 50 flights of the stairs. Cook only had to pause briefly 4 times to catch his breath.
I'll do my part. I'll climb the stairs, and ideally I do it under 30 minutes, and then prove to everybody that I wasn't just talking, and hopefully that encourages everybody to contribute to the zoo.
The Alberta Farm Safety Centre has an important event coming up, and there is reason to celebrate. We have more tonight's report from Farm TV.
September 2013 marks the 16th year that the Alberta Farm Safety Centre has been delivering farm safety programs to rural students in Alberta. In 2012, their 7 instructors covered thousands of kilometers delivering the program across Alberta.
We were able to teach in 457 schools across the province
2,300 plus classrooms, 52,469 students.
In August, the program received additional funding from the provincial government.
We got a call from MLA Alana DeLong's office saying she'd like to make the check presentation in person. So we thought, well, that's a great opportunity to not only have her here, but also bring some county representatives who are also program supporters.
Representatives from the counties of Warner, Lethbridge, and Taber were also at the presentation.
It's very essential that we support this. I mean, it's education is key.
I think the work that they're doing at the Alberta Safety Centre is just amazing.
Farm TV is brought to you by DA Building Systems.
Coming up next, Dory is going to tell us what we can expect for some great temperatures coming up in the forecast. First, the day's markets.